All right, this series is going to be about this rifle right here, the PTR 91, an epic tale. Now I've had this rifle in almost every accessory that you could possibly have on it, every setup. I've had LPVO on it. I've had fixed magnified optic. This is a red dot. I've had almost every stock. I'm not saying I've had every single one out there, but I'm saying I've had one that represents a configuration of others out there. I have messed with fore ends. I've had different furniture on it. I've had different muzzle devices. After all of my time, this is the final form this rifle's going to have. I have about 850 rounds through it. You're probably thinking, 850 rounds, and that's not a whole lot. There's other YouTubers out there that get 1,000 rounds and they'll go through 1,000 rounds in a day. Well, I'm sorry, I'm poor. But I have ran it in almost every condition that's allowable by where I live. And I run it hard, I don't baby it. I feel like this rifle is a child of mine, meaning that it has tested me. It's tested my patience. Some days I've just wanted to chuck it over the hill or throw it in the creek and leave it, and that be that. But then other days it's really surprised me. And I thought, wow, this is the gun I'm going to take to battle for the end of days, when all of those steel and paper targets finally invade my neighborhood. I'm going to take them out with this. Before you freak out, no, I haven't been hacked by the Russians. They already did that once to my Instagram, and there's a saying out there, fool me once. Well, I'll let George Bush tell you.
Fool me once. Shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
But I was doing some fiddling around on YouTube and was wondering if I'd even come up in the search bar. So I typed my name in the search bar and I found out that there was another channel that had my old name to it. So I wasn't trying to steal his shine. Sorry, my bad. Changed the channel name. So now that that's cleared up, this installment is going to be about muzzle devices. When I first got it, I was foolishly trying to eliminate recoil. It has a unique nature. It has a very heavy bolt carrier and bolt carrier group. And the way it operates, that mass comes back whether you like it or not. Most of the recoil that I've found out running this thing is from the mass of the bolt carrier, at least in my opinion, not from the actual muzzle itself. It has a very unique rhythm that you have to get down that I've not experienced with any other firearm. And you have to get the rhythm down, and there's some things you can do, which I'll talk about in other videos, to change the rhythm of or change maybe the nature of the recoil. That's really the only way I can describe it. I mean, it's still there, but it's different. But there is no getting rid of it and trying to run it like an AR. So this is the muzzle device that it comes with. It's a 360 brake slash compensator slash flash hider. I don't know. It does a great job at hiding flash. It does an okay job at compensating. It's pretty good at everything, but it's not great at anything. So earlier I said I was trying to get rid of the recoil foolishly, and I learned pretty quick. Me and my brother-in-law was out there shooting, and my brother-in-law's got a SCAR 17, heavy. It also shoots 308 7.62 NATO. The muzzle device that he has on his SCAR is super effective for keeping the muzzle flat and the barrel not moving. I was fiddling around on PWS's website because I looked at it and everything, and I found this. This is pretty much the same thing that's on the SCAR. I think it's a tad bit different on his, but they advertise it as a brake slash flash hider. The brake part is true with all ammo. The flash hiding depends on what ammo you're running. If you're running cheap toolless stuff, you'll still get a fireball, even though out of this 18-inch barrel. It's not going to be every time, but there's going to be some fireballs. As you can see on this, the brake part's back here that keeps the barrel and the recoil down. And then the flash hider part is at the end. And you can see most of it, it's like a 70-30 type of deal. This thing does what a brake should do. It keeps the muzzle flat. And I'm going to show you a video here of me shooting it after I'd installed it. And watch closely how the muzzle doesn't really move all that much. So you saw how the muzzle didn't really move. But I'll also show you from a better angle how the energy still transfers into your shoulder and the recoil still transfers into your shoulder. You can see my whole body move when I shoot this shot from up on the hill. We were at, I think, 190 yards is what the scope said. And granted, I was running the retractable stock with the standard buffer that comes in it. But just watch as the recoil transfers into me. And you'll also see a fireball on this one.
Yes!
So yeah, overall it does great as a brake. Flash hiding, like I said, depends on the ammo. Just like any other brake, there's downsides to this. It is like a flashbang going off. It's very concussive, and you will annoy everyone at the range. My brother-in-law was standing next to me, and he had to back up. Just like when I was standing next to his scar, and not even next to his scar, at a slight angle, I still had to back up, and every time he shoots that scar, I'm way behind him because it feels like hot sand is getting blasted into your face. Now, they do their job, but there's a trade-off. So the next device I got around to looking at was, I had this idea, I'm going to get a suppressor. I'm going to get a suppressor, da-da-da-da-da. Well, that idea died quick. But with suppressors, I didn't know anything about them. I still don't really know a whole lot about them. But when you buy a suppressor, it seems as up until recently, whatever suppressor you get, you're married to the muzzle device, and vice versa. If you get the muzzle device, you're married to the company's suppressor that makes them. So I really wanted, if I ever had to use this rifle, I wouldn't want a huge fireball coming out of the end, and if I'm using it to engage some invading force, oh, there he is up there on the hill where that big old fireball was. I would use a flash hider. Bought this flash hider. It's a 3-prong ASR silencer co. This thing is phenomenal. It's the best flash hider that I've ever had. I got 2 others for the 5.56 guns. It doesn't produce that annoying ting. You don't have to time it. I mean, it tings now, but when you're out on the range, it doesn't ting at all. You don't have to time it. You just put the Loctite or whatever they give you on. You screw it on. You torque it to whatever the recommendation is, and you're good to go. It's got the threads for the suppressor right here. So this is what I was running for the longest time. Worked great. It does not help for compensating whatsoever, but it does help with flash. I mean, there was no fireballs ever to come out of this weapon when this ASR silencer code was on there. However, for some weird reason, it started working its way off one day. I mean, this gun is known to shake things loose, break things, and tell you that you need more Loctite. But I did what they told me to do, and it was like a heat Loctite where the barrel produces heat and you need something to withstand heat. But it started working its way off. And I guess I was just angry or upset or something. I took it off and I put the old standard 360 flash hider back on. And that's what's been on there ever since. And until I get a suppressor, I don't really have to worry about this one. So if this PTR was a roller coaster, the ride has been a beautiful behemoth of a coaster at times, and then downright dastardly at other times. Once you start working with the rifle, instead of fighting it, it's an awesome rifle. So in summary, you got 3 ways you can go about it. The first way is all flash. The second way is all brake. I'm not saying this particular one, but I'm saying in general. And the third way is just run it stock, how it came, which is majority flash, a little bit of compensation / brake. And this video will sum up part 1 of the PTR 91, An Epic Tale. Thanks for watching.